Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ali Gauhar. On the first half of the show, we're going to talk about football, something very exciting. The stars of football landed in Pakistan, in Karachi on Saturday. 4 big stars, and this is the World Soccer Stars initiative. We've got Kaka, we've seen him here before, Anelka as well, the great French footballer Figo, and Carlos Puyol as well. Wonderful to see them here in Pakistan playing exhibition matches in Karachi and Lahore. And of course, the idea is to promote, uplift football in Pakistan. There's tremendous talent here, but unfortunately, there isn't a platform to groom young players. So we're going to talk about that first, and then we'll move on to cricket. Pakistan did very well in their 3-day tour game against Australia A very strong Australia A side. Guys like Joe Burns, Alex Carey, Usman Khwaja, Marnus Harris, they were all a part of that team, and Pakistan did very well, particularly the youngster Naseem Shah. Tonight he was superb. He was fast and bowled with a great deal of control, and he really troubled Usman Khwaja and Harris, who he got out in the end with an absolute rip snorter. To think he just lost his mother 24 hours ago. Terribly sad for Naseem Shah and his family. Our thoughts and prayers are with the young 16-year-old. But tonight, the way he bowled, you could have seen it all on YouTube, and the highlights are there as well. I hope we get to see it tonight on our show. He was very impressive, and I'm sure his mother was looking down. His mother was looking down on him. Very sad for Naseem Shah, but the way he bowled today, there's no doubt he's got a tremendous future ahead of him, and the Australian batsmen will be watching him very, very closely. That's the second half of the show, but first we're going to get to football. PTV Sports' Altmash Jiwa, very talented anchor, sat down with 2 legends, Carlos Puyol and Luis Figo from Portugal. Let's listen in.
Benvingut, Dono, Senor Puyol. Welcome to Pakistan.
Thank you.
And Benvedio, Pakistan, Senor Figo.
Gracias.
Good to have you here as well, both of you. Given the historic rivalries you guys have played in the El Clasico and the Iberian Derby, how does it feel for both of you to be back together, being part of something very big in Pakistan football?
Bueno, hemos sido primero compañeros porque yo le tengo que agradecer mucho a Luis porque me ayudó muchísimo cuando yo llegué al primer equipo. Recuerdo que yo jugaba de lateral, él de extremo, y quería todos los balones, entonces para mí era fácil intentar recuperar y pasársela a él. Luego él ya hacía la jugada, y muy bien, por cierto. Fue una pena que se marchase y se fuese al máximo rival. Una cosa es el fútbol y luego está la persona. Nosotros somos amigos y estamos encantados de estar aquí juntos. Nos vemos en muchos actos y nuestra relación es muy buena.
Figo?
Well, like Puyol said, I think we start to play together, and we had great times. Then I moved to Madrid, but in the end, the most important is the friendship, and we have the very good relation, and we're very happy to be here and to share this event together to help to promote football in Pakistan. So one thing is the colors of the teams, and the other one is the relation, the human relation that you have. So I think that is the most important for your life and for the future. So very pleased.
There are 2 pictures which went viral when you guys used to play. I would like them to show them to you, and if you can tell us what the emotions were back then when you were actually on the pitch. There's one, it's Portugal versus Spain. It's the 2 of you, and then that's the El Clasico, Puyol and Figo right there. You can see the smile on your face as well. If you can.
Everyone's winning.
So tell us what the rivalry was like for both of you in the El Clasico and the Iberian Derby, when the 2 of you used to play against each other.
Que fue parte de la rivalidad entre en el clásico y también en la selección.
¿Nosotros o...?
Sí, nosotros.
Bueno, la rivalidad no era con él, sino de los 2 equipos. Barça-Madrid es el partido más importante, hay muchísima rivalidad. Yo soy de un pueblo pequeño de Cataluña y culé desde que nací, entonces la he vivido mucho, No con él tenía que estar muy concentrado porque es uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo y sabía que a la mínima que le dejases un poco de espacio iba a crear mucho peligro, entonces la rivalidad del equipo es muy grande, pero luego con él pues estar muy atento a que no pudiese hacer un buen partido.
And Figo, for you?
Well, I think the rivalry is historic, no, in both sense, Madrid-Barça and Portugal-Spain, and in this case we play for so much, no, because in that photo it was the Euro in Portugal 2004, and the other some important derby, and that is always, no, in these days, in the past, so it's historic, but it's sportive, no. I think when the game finish, we have a normal relation, so that is the most important. And of course, to play always against Puyol was really tough because he was one of the biggest defense in the world, and in the same time was like a challenge because you wanted to be better and win the battles, but have always a very tough moments in sportive way. But like I said to you, in the hand when you finish the game, and we know each other. So football is one thing, relationship is another one.
Now, you retired in 2009, and you have been part of developing football throughout the world. You also, at one time, were standing for the FIFA presidency in 15, and then now you're part of UEFA as well. How's life been after football from you once you left the pitch? How's that been for you so far? And your contemporaries are now actually into managing and coaching as well. Have you ever considered that?
Well, it's been busy, but in other areas, more in the managing, of course, is one thing that I want to do in the future. And right now I'm happy because I'm working with UEFA, and of course, at the same time, I'm learning another aspects of the game. But regarding be a coach, it's not in my plans. Coaching, I even have the license to do it, so I'm focused more in the work that I'm doing now regarding not only promoting football but what I'm in charge in UEFA. So I think that make me busy.
Okay, and Puyol, recently we found out through the media that you did not take up a role with Barcelona, but you wanted to help children instead in the world of football. How are you enjoying your life after you retired in 2014, and what are your plans to go forward? Do you want to coach at some point, become part of Barcelona?
No es fácil cuando te retiras. Para mí jugar al fútbol era lo mejor, levantarme cada mañana, ir a entrenar, jugar, competir, la convivencia con los compañeros. Ahora es otra vida. No es ni mejor ni peor, son etapas de la vida y tienes que adaptarte. Como entrenador, como ha dicho Luis, no entra en mis planes, y más si en la dirección deportiva. Tuve una oferta hace poco del Barcelona, pero creo que no era el momento. Estoy en otros proyectos personales y, bueno, quién sabe si en un futuro puede haber otra oportunidad.
And now I'd like to ask both of you about Barcelona, you about Real Madrid. If I can ask you first, current Barcelona team, are you happy with seeing Messi, Suarez, and Griezmann, or would you like to see Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, if that's possible? And the management with Valverde there, are you happy the way things are going at Barcelona?
Sí, la verdad es que esta temporada está siendo un poco más irregular, pero creo que el Barcelona tiene muy buen equipo. También hemos tenido muchas lesiones, entonces esto siempre jugadores muy importantes, pero estamos primeros en la Liga y primeros en el grupo de Champions. Entonces hay cosas que mejorar, pero no estamos tan mal.
And Figo, with you, spent a very large chunk at Real Madrid as well. They didn't have the best season last year as well. A lot of changes, but Zidane is now back. Are you happy the way things are going? Can they win the La Liga? Is that important, or do you think Champions League is the most important thing?
Well, for the teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, you can choose the trophies. I think they play to win everything, and after a bad season, they didn't start so regular, but they are in top of the league too. So we have to expect a little bit more to see what happened this season in regarding the Liga and the Champions League.
Okay, and very lastly, Ballon d'Or award is coming up, and always it's a big thing between two players. Last year we saw someone new winning that was Luka Modric. This year, who do you think the award should go to?
Well, in terms of titles, I think Cristiano this year won most titles, so I think he deserved it. But you always have to count with Messi because he made a great season too. And you know that this depends of the votes of like a small kind of people. But I think it will be between the two, or maybe someone that won the Champions League last year.
Okay, and Puyol yourself, being a defender, Virgil van Dijk, people talk about his name now as well. Who do you see winning the Ballon d'Or?
Yo creo que va a ser Leo Messi, pero estoy muy contento de Van Dijk esté en las nominaciones y que pues haya hecho una temporada y que se reconozca el trabajo de un defensa. Creo que es un grandísimo profesional que todavía puede crecer y aportar mucho al fútbol, pero para mí el mejor sin duda es Leo Messi.
Well, gracias. Obrigado.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Wonderful interviews. And we have the man who interviewed these two legends online with us, Altmash Jiwa. Altmash, great to have you on.
Thank you for having me. Good evening to your team, Arslan and everyone. Guys are doing a fantastic job every day on PTV World. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Altmash, firstly, I mean, interviewing these two, it must have been a tremendous experience. And you've interviewed top footballers before. A lot of them through this World Soccer Stars initiative have come to Pakistan. So it must be very exciting for football fans to see them here in Karachi and Lahore.
Oh, absolutely. And Ali, I'll tell you something. Again, for someone who's watched football for almost all their life, initially I thought that I'll get an individual interview of Puyol and then of Figo separately. But when I was told I'll only get a chance to interview them together, I was actually more excited because, again, for someone like you as well who's been watching football, you know the historic rivalry these two went through themselves while they were playing. One playing for Real Madrid, the other one playing for Barcelona. And then the historic Iberian derby where one player used to play for Spain, the other one for Portugal. So just having these two together and being able to interview them together was one of the biggest things for me in my career so far. It was very exciting.
It's the stuff of
so
dreams.
yeah, that was great for me. And for all the football fans as well, definitely. There were a lot of people who had just come to the hotel to get a glimpse of these guys. A lot of people came to the shopping mall where these guys went for a promotional tour. And then I'll be honest, the response which they should have gotten for the exhibition match wasn't there, but that was because of the high ticket pricing. Again, given what's going on in Pakistan at the moment and seeing the economic situation as well, the organizers should have had the ticket prices at a lower level. Then maybe more people would have come because obviously everyone wants to see them in action. But that was an opportunity missed for sure, but it was great to have these players in Pakistan and the image of Pakistan which was shown to the world as well.
It's obviously great to have legends of football here, of any sport here, really. But you brought it up. You've touched on something very important, that it turned out to be a bit anticlimactic in the end. Not a lot of people showed up to the exhibition match. The ticket prices were too high. It could have been marketed better. I understand that we're being critical, but we need to be if we want the situation to improve, because the idea is to promote football in Pakistan, to uplift football in Pakistan. And yes, you've got these stars coming here, but and that's the first step, and it's a big one, but you need to build on that. And once again, it seems like the marketing and the decisions made have just fallen short. Why do you think that is?
Again, maybe it's a lack of planning, and they were trying to do this in haste, and they didn't understand the Pakistani market properly. Because as you see, and all the sports, all of you and your team covered as well, Pakistani people love their sports. For any sort of action happening anywhere, grounds always fill up, and be it any sport. So for grounds to not fill up with these people there, clearly something went wrong big time in terms of the planning and execution of this event. And I remember like covering local football in cities like Faisalabad and Multan. and seeing the grounds fill up over there with just local teams playing. So again, it was beyond my understanding as well that why people won't come in. You said it very right. They didn't advertise it right. A lot of people didn't even know that the Stars were here. Once they were gone, people actually found out that, oh, they were even here. We didn't know they were here. So the pricing of the ticket prices for sure, the lack of advertising, the lack of marketing, and basically lack of planning. And like very rightly you said, we need to build on this. The players can come, and the players themselves, they said that football can only improve once you build on us, once we've come here, and then you build on it. You just can't rely on us coming here and football will improve on its own.
No, I agree with you, and I hope they take this into account. And I'm sure that the top footballers will come here again. But let's hope that the organizers and the marketers, whoever is involved, capitalizes on this. Because and you alluded to this already, Altmash, that Pakistan, I mean, one living in certain parts of the world may not believe it, but we actually enjoy football. And people from all walks of life. You go to the rural areas of Sindh, you see young boys playing football, very skillful football, really. And then boys in the city are obsessed with football. They'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning or stay up and wait till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch a big high-profile football game. Girls are interested in football. We've got a Pakistani girls football team who are growing day by day. So the idea is to promote this and promote it effectively.
Absolutely. That's the key, to promote this and in the right way, like you said, promote it effectively so and actually get the results which the organizers want, which the fans over here want as well. And like you rightly said, people stay up all night to watch these stars play. And these stars are they've only retired very recently. Puyol retired in 2014. Kaka was here as well. He retired in 2016. So it's not like these stars are of the yesteryears as well. They're very recent. They were playing on the international stage. So yeah, hopefully we can have a better tournament next time and a better result as well. And the actual fans can get to see the heroes live in action.
How did they find Pakistan, especially Karachi? I'm sure there was heavy security, and they couldn't roam around or go around the way they would have wanted to. But maybe something like that. If they're in Karachi, they can go to Burns Road or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head now. Go to Burns Road or a local market, and someone can film it, put it on YouTube. That's how you're promoting not just football, but Pakistan in general, because these aren't ordinary little footballers. I mean, these are legends. I mean, we're talking about Figo, Anelka, Puyol, Kaka. I mean, these are world-class players. So it's bound to generate interest.
And we were actually hoping that the organizers would take them down to Liari, the hub of football in Karachi, inside Pakistan as well. And the reception these players would have gotten in Liari would have been something they probably didn't even see at the Bernabeu and at the new camp. You know how people are crazy about football in those areas of Karachi. And that's where the organizational skills of the people who are bringing them in actually comes in. So they should have done that. That was an opportunity missed. And the security situation of Karachi and overall Pakistan has improved leaps and bounds as well. So yeah, that's an opportunity missed definitely. And that's a good idea as well. Get these players in, keep the security there, but actually make them go out in the markets. And then those moments can be filmed, put on YouTube, put on TV as well, just like how you're covering it on your show as well. So the international world can see that Pakistan is a safe place and Pakistanis actually love their sports. And they did go to a private mall as a part of the promotional tour as well. And that's where the most number of fans actually turned up. Because again, the entry was easy, the access was easy, as opposed to the ground where the ticket pricing was so high that most of the fans just stayed away.
Well, it was great to have these footballers here, these great footballers, and I'm sure we'll see them again shortly. Altmash, Jiwa, thank you very much for speaking to us, and thank you for the wonderful interview. Right, we'll be back after a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss cricket. Stay tuned.